On Channel 4, the local station, this is Look Local.
Dave Barker is here with International Hair Restoration Systems. Dave, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
And your hair looks great.
Thank you.
And we have a picture of Dave before, and we're going to get to that in a second. Tell us about the problem with hair loss in women. It's not just men, and we do tend to think of it as a problem that guys have.
That's correct.
But women really have it as well.
That's right. Approximately 1 out of 4 women will have some degree of hair loss during the course of their life.
Okay.
So oftentimes women's hair loss will present itself differently than men's, where they won't have a shiny bald area. They'll have thinning. The texture of the hair will change. The hair will break, things of that nature. And then it will often lead into more severe hair loss.
Okay. Now, tell us, for those of us who may know somebody that has thinning hair, or if you yourself have it, it can be kind of scary because no one wants to imagine, oh my gosh, my hair's falling out. And I know the normal is to lose about 50 hairs a day, correct?
That's correct.
Or to 100.
Up to 100 hairs a day is normal.
That sounds like a lot, but you know there's something wrong, I think, if it comes out in maybe when you're taking a shower, if too much comes out, or like you said, eventually the texture seems different.
You can keep an eye on the hair that's on your pillow or the hair that's in the drain and pay attention to the amount of shedding. And once it starts becoming excessive, then you know that things are happening. Oftentimes when somebody notices hair loss in a given area, they've already lost half of the hair in that area.
Oh my.
We're born with over 100,000 hairs on our head in most cases. So 75 to 100 hairs sounds like a lot, but it really isn't in the grand scheme of things.
Okay. Tell us what might be some of the reasons that women lose their hair or it gets thinner.
With women, it's a little bit difficult to determine the reasons. With men, it's almost always genetic. With ladies, it can also be genetic. Things like medications, diet, personal health habits, things of that nature, chemically processing the hair, all of these things can be either the cause or contributing factor to hair loss.
Okay. And is there any way to specifically to know? Because I mean, a lot of women get their hair highlighted, or they get perms, or they get
Sure.
some kind of color, low lights or highlights or both. So it seems like more women than men get chemical treatments
Sure.
to our hair. So that's got to be I guess a stress on the hair.
It is definitely a stress
You know,
on the
and
hair.
then with any kind of medications, you say that too can be a side effect. So
Sure.
how can you pinpoint?
Typically, when hair loss, when chemical treatments are performed on an individual with nice, thick, healthy hair, it may be damaging to the hair, but it's not causing hair loss. But what would happen is an individual would come into our office and we would sit down and do a private evaluation, do a microscopic analysis, and we could determine the reasons for their loss and what option or options would be best to treat it.
Okay, when you say a microscopic analysis, tell us what you mean by that. Do you actually pull the hair out and look at it under a microscope?
There's a couple different ways that we do that procedure. One, we actually will examine the hair under a microscope, but during the initial evaluation, we'll use a video microscope that we scope the client's hair and scalp, and we observe it with the client on a large screen TV, and we can determine the different stages of the hair and the percentages of good healthy hair versus shedding hair.
Okay, now this lady, oh my gosh, you know, bless her heart. Her hair, it looks to me, I'm not an expert here, but she had hair loss kind of all over.
Ladies will often present themselves with thinning all over.
And that is her afterwards?
And that's her after shot.
And you guys did that?
We did that, yes.
And you were able to tell what her situation, what was her problem?
Yes, we were.
And that's by the analysis that you were talking about?
We go through an in-depth questionnaire with the
Okay.
individual and talk
Wow.
about family history.
Who's it? Now this gal,
Now,
she's
you can
the
see
same.
this lady, her hair was thinning through the side. Also, she wasn't able to grow the hair any longer.
Was it breaking off
It
or
was
something?
breaking off, the texture of the hair, and there's the after picture.
What caused her hair to break off like that?
A couple of things in this specific situation. One was chemical treatment, and then also she had a genetic tendency for hair loss as well. So the hair, back to what we were talking about earlier, the hair had a genetic tendency to fall out, but then also chemicals exacerbated the problem.
Okay, and now what is about this gal?
Very similar situation. Notice the hair around the ends, how thin and fine and wispy it is. And there's the after
Oh my gosh,
picture.
looks like a different person.
It does.
That is absolutely amazing. You know, and also, if women start to lose their hair,
Yes.
They usually don't really say anything about it. This is one of the things he was telling me before we came out, that women just kind of sit back and wait and see if it goes away on its own. But the time is of the essence here, and I didn't realize that. If you get in to see you and have a consultation,
yes.
Oftentimes, if they pinpoint the problem and what's causing it, it can be rectified. Otherwise, if it goes months or, several months, it sometimes can't be as easily fixed.
Right. There's always options for individuals with hair loss, both men and women. But however, ladies in particular tend to wait and think, oh, it's going to get better, it'll fix itself. But if you come in sooner rather than later, there are a lot more options that are less invasive for you, where we can restore the hair non-surgically, possibly stop the hair loss from getting any worse.
Wow. And that's the former Miss America,
yes,
I think.
Kayla.
And I want to show a picture of you because we've only got about a minute left.
All right.
Let's show Dave before. He owns the place now, but this is Dave before, and there you are. And then we see you now, and it just looks fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
It really does make you look a lot younger.
Thank you.
Now, you guys are having an actual seminar, so if anybody has any questions, and this is a pretty broad topic, tell us where we can get. It's coming up this week.
Okay.
Okay.
The office is, our office is conveniently located in Mandarin off of San Jose. It's this Thursday at 6:30. We'll be holding a women's seminar. I believe you have the information
right
on the
there.
screen.
Okay.
Yes.
And what we'll be able to go through everything, and women be able to get all kinds of information at something like this.
What will happen is we'll sit down. It'll be more of an informative question and answer period. You'll actually be able to meet some live clients, okay, and see examples of our work. And we do all different options, from hair transplants to non-surgical hair addition. We even have a new stem cell treatment that we do as well.
Okay, well, listen, Dave Barker, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right.